Hi, I'm the Guitar Trooper, YouTube's favorite old guy. It's on or about Thursday morning, June 14th, 1956, Hollywood, California. 47-year-old entertainer Milton Berle is looking at a pile of letters. There must be half a million letters here, he says to himself. In contrast to his goofy and frenetic persona when on air, Milton Berle, a seasoned vaudevillian and radio performer long before he had become Mr. Television, is in reality a very intense perfectionist with a keen sense of audience psychology. The letters, it turns out, are from viewers of the June 5th The Milton Berle Show on NBC, and all of them are negative. Berle scanned several of them. I'll never watch your show again. Another one, disgusting. And yet another, vulgar. He has known for some time now that NBC had already decided to cancel his new show as of the end of the season due to sliding ratings. In spite of record viewership that one Tuesday evening in June of 1956, it is not only his last show of the 1956 season, it is Milton Berle's last TV broadcast until 1958. Berle grins, lights his first cigar of the day, and places a phone call to one Colonel Parker. He has a message for the Colonel. It's March 14th, 1956, Memphis, Tennessee, at the offices of Bob Neal Talent and Booking Agency. Bob Neal's 18-month contract as Elvis Presley's manager has come to an end. It is Neal's first and only artist management contract, and he has no desire to continue the relationship. It's not because he doesn't like Elvis, but rather because he senses that Elvis will be very big, and Neal already has a very successful radio program and a record store to support his family. He doesn't feel that sufficient time will be available any longer for managing the affairs of the 21-year-old Elvis Presley. Colonel Tom Parker, a self-promoting hustler who has elbowed his way into the entertainment business over the past few years by managing the careers of Hank Snow and Eddie Arnold, had been partnering with Neal for a few months with Elvis, and Bob Neal gladly allows the Colonel to take over as Elvis's exclusive manager. It's late March 1956, Nashville, Tennessee, at the office of Colonel Tom Parker. Upon the acquisition of Presley's management contract, Colonel Parker goes to work and immediately gets on the phone. Among others, he calls one of the biggest names in the business, the William Morris Talent Agency in New York City, with a plan to start getting Elvis more exposure on TV. Elvis was not new to TV. He had already been appearing weekly on the Dorsey Brothers broadcast called Stage Show since January. Colonel Parker has a representative from the agency contact Milton Berle to arrange an audition of Elvis for his show. Although Berle's television audience is on the wane and his newly renamed 1955-56 season of The Milton Berle Show, that is without the mention of sponsorship, is under the scrutiny of NBC. The weekly broadcast still carries a clout, though, drawing in the neighborhood of 40 million viewers, many more than the Dorsey Brothers show. The Colonel wants to tap into the exposure on that audience while he can, as well as to use the April 3rd Milton Berle Show appearance as a catalyst for live audiences at 2 Elvis concerts in San Diego that same week. Milton Berle has never heard of Elvis Presley, but is interested enough to have an audition. It's arranged for them to meet at a rehearsal studio on 7th Avenue in New York. Elvis, in person, has a quiet and humble demeanor off stage and considerable stage fright when performing. When Elvis played his first paid concert at the Overton Park Shell in Memphis, Tennessee, he masked his nervous, shaky legs with gyrations and other gesticulations, a trademark that would come to define the young performer. As nervous as ever, Elvis performs a song for Mr. Television. Berle takes note of the kid's natural good looks and his energetic presentation and unique sound, and that's good enough. Burl books Elvis for the April 3rd show, which is to be televised from San Diego on the deck of the docked aircraft carrier USS Hancock, and then again on June 5th from the Hollywood studio. It's Tuesday, April 3rd, 1956, San Diego, California, the Milton Berle Show live broadcast from the flight deck of the anchored aircraft carrier USS Hancock. The Colonel books Elvis for a two-night concert appearance in San Diego on Wednesday and Thursday following the Berle Show. He uses the TV show as a springboard for promotion of the live concerts. A week before the TV event, Elvis Presley fan club members are sent a 12 by 18.5 TV appearance announcement that has the Wednesday and Thursday concert ad on the reverse side. Although Elvis breaks a guitar string during Blue Suede Shoes, the Berle Show appearance is otherwise flawless. Elvis is in perfect form, and he has his Martin guitar strapped around his neck, as he has done for countless appearances up to that time. Colonel Parker, observing the performance with the eye of a shrewd promoter, notices something. He spends too much time hugging that guitar, he thinks to himself. It is a telling observation that will lead to a decision destined to ignite Presley's career beyond all expectations. Elvis's concert schedule is accelerated. Tuesday, June 5th, 1956, NBC Studios, Hollywood, California, the live broadcast of the Milton Berle Show. Due to a 17-show concert schedule through May and finally in Oakland, California on June 3rd, Elvis misses the first days of rehearsal and is only able to attend the final rehearsals on June 5th. In an effort to increase the energy of the performance and in contrast with earlier appearances, the Colonel plans to have Elvis perform on this broadcast without his guitar, believing that this tactic will allow Elvis more physical freedom in the performance. In fact, the decision leaves Elvis with no prop other than the microphone stand, in addition to his now unencumbered body movements, with which to express his excitement. The usual instrumentation backing for Elvis is a sparse but efficient trio: Scotty Moore on his Gibson L5 guitar, Billy Black on the stand-up bass, and DJ Fontana on the drums. Although Elvis does not always play his guitar, but rather uses it mostly as a stage prop, it still provides some rhythm background to the trio when he does play it. On this TV appearance, it will be the first one that Elvis performs without it. The guys know Hound Dog in their sleep after closing numerous concerts with the song. So, instead of the straight version as on the published record, the Colonel wants them to perform on live television the same version as they have been using to close the concerts, and briefs the guys before the show. The use on TV of a concert version of that hit record will be another TV first for Elvis. It's 6 p.m. Pacific Time, and the live broadcast begins, placing the show at 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 Central, and 7 o'clock Mountain Time. A TV studio in the mid-1950s is an extremely bright and hot place to work. The incandescent lighting used many sources at around 5,000 watts per lamp, generating a lot of heat for those in the direct beams. Elvis is as nervous as ever, and the intensity of the studio environment doesn't help. He feels even more insecure now about this appearance due to the absence of his beloved C.F. Martin guitar. His first song on the show is his current hit, I Want You, I Need You, I Love You, accompanied by the Jordanaires, and prefaced with a comedy bit where Berle plays a record store owner being inundated by Elvis fans. This performance is staged on that record store set, and Elvis is left to stand awkwardly detached from the trio to his right and mic'd with a boom over his head. The song is then followed by more cheesy comedic bits with Berle and actress Deborah Paget. In the midst of the comic patter, he still holds his own. But this performance is to become only a footnote to the one later in the show. Presley's second song of the evening is Hound Dog, and is performed as they would on stage in concert, except without Elvis wearing his guitar. At Burl's introduction, Scotty counts off the beginning at full tempo, and Elvis, smartly dressed with a sport jacket and dark slacks, and now devoid of his guitar, delivers his usual energetic style, never taking his hands off the mic stand, gripping it just below the attached microphone, even when gyrating to the drum fills between the verses. The apparent end to the song comes at 1 minute and 30 seconds, but they're not done. With his right index finger pointed to the left at an imaginary subject, Elvis restarts the chorus at half tempo. His gyrations are more exaggerated now, and due to the slower tempo, are maintained longer than during the song at regular speed. He begins the first chorus with his body facing to the left, exhibiting front hip movements, and he staggers forward, then turns to face the audience. He is now taking his signature wide stance and follows the drum fill with toe stands on each alternative foot. The second chorus begins. He tilts the mic stand back, singing at 45 degrees angle to it and swinging his hips to the beat. After 2 choruses, at that tempo, the performance is over. The overnight ratings for the Milton Berle show of June 5, 1956 revealed that enough Elvis fans and Elvis curiosity seekers tuned in to beat the Phil Silvers show playing opposite on CBS that same time slot. Critics, parents, and teen fans all had strong reactions, and not for the same reasons. The critics panned the performance. Jack Gould in the New York Times stated that Elvis had no discernible singing ability and compared his movements to that of a burlesque performer. Daily News TV writer Ben Gross said that the music had reached its lowest depths. Parents, of course, feared corruption of their daughters, while teen fans were all the more enamored with Elvis. For whatever reasons, the date marked a point at which Elvis Presley became a major subject in the media, and it is now an iconic event in rock and roll history. It caused the publicity storm as well that Colonel Parker sought. Even into this century, it has not been forgotten by Elvis fandom. The Elvis Presley shirt worn on that show sold in 2010 at auction for $63,750. Oh, and what was it that Milton Berle wanted to tell the Colonel on that phone call of June 14th, you ask? Colonel, you have a star on your hands. Hey, thanks a million for watching the video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please click that thumbs up like button and leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. You can also use the comments to suggest video subject matter regarding popular music between the 1950s and 1970s. If you're not already a subscriber, this would also be a great time to subscribe to the channel. It's easy and it's free. Just click on the subscribe button, and when you see the drop down for notification levels, pick the top one so that you will know when new content is available for public view. Speaking of that, once you are a subscriber, you can upgrade your subscription to channel member status and become a Trooper Fellow. If you do that, you will be able to see new content days before it is available to the public. Thanks again for watching.